Hey, what's up everyone? It's back. Today I'm gonna speak about the best way to prepare for Season 10. Recently, my PC broke, so I'm playing on a spare PC. This is why I'm not uploading a lot recently, but in 1 or 2 weeks, the time to get some piece from eBay, I'm gonna be able to come back and do more 1vx content. But right now, let's get straight. There's one thing that is not gonna change, and this is the artifact. What you should do is hunt the artifact, and there is a bunch that are more useful than the rest, and this is those that you're gonna go for because we all know you're gonna scale the gear score up to 800, and those artifacts you're gonna be able to upgrade it. But you're not gonna upgrade them now, you're gonna just wait, because if you upgrade them now, you're maybe gonna have to upgrade them again. So you can just collect them and be ready for it, you know. In those artifacts, the best are like Endless Thirst, Aeternum leather pants, Nimble coat, the Finisher, the Serenity greatsword, the Void Gauntlet life taker if you're a healer. For the tank, it's gonna be Serenity greatsword or the sword wit or the hammered Trisna. You can also get featherweight if you're new. It's gonna help you to be a bit more tanky while starting to do the PvE, you know. The event, the Inferno Fire Staff, it's a good choice too because it buffs your other weapon damage. There's the Ice Gauntlet, the Deep Freeze, that is pretty nice too. Remember, there's gonna be a new zone, and if you don't want to waste too much consumable fighting the trash mob, you're gonna want the Blood Drinker ring artifact, or just find ring with leeching along the way. And what you need to do is to get your heart rune too. There's a couple heart rune that are very good in PvE, and it's the Grasping Vine, the Detonate, the Fire Kick, and if you're a tank, maybe you can go for Stone Form or Leeching Dark Ascent. So there is two things that will go up in price for sure, because there's gonna be not only a spike in population at the Season 10, but the people are gonna need to craft a lot. So the craft mod, as you can see there, I just bought a lot of skewer craft mod because I know that a lot of people gonna use the spear, and it was cheap. I looked onto the Maelstrom and it was costing higher, so I decided to not buy them, but it's maybe still worth it. And then there is the consumable like the potion and the roasted rabbit, stuff like that. But with the potion, you're more sure of what you do. There's a good chance that the price will double or triple on small stuff like the infused health potion, the regen potion. So just buy a lot of stack of them. It's kind of worth it. Put some buy order and stuff like that. You can try to reach gold cap or as much gold as you can, because you know the gold is a currency that will stay there and it will help you to buy gear or just to do a lot of stuff. And then you can up your crafting to 200, like all your skill to 200, but the reality is you're gonna maybe spend some gold doing it. So I would recommend mostly to get the gathering skill up, because into dungeon, the mutation, you need to do gathering. So if you just cannot mine the nodes that are there, it's gonna punish you and your team. there is a few weapons that I would recommend to level up just to make sure that you are ready for the season 10, and this is the spear, one of the most used weapon in PvE. The great axe, because people use it to clump the mobs in dungeons, so it's well used in PvE again. Then the great sword, people do spear great sword combo in PvE, and it got a ability that clump up the mob together. And the evade rapier, that is one of the most used build for the red. And then if you're a tank, you're gonna do the sword and shield, the hammer, and the great sword. And then the lifestaff user go for the void gauntlet lifestaff, and in some exceptions sometimes they put out the flail. There's the ice gauntlet rapier, sometimes that is used to in dungeon, but I don't know if it's still gonna be meta, probably because of the ice wall. It's an amazing ability. So there's gonna be a new area too, so make sure to finish your quest into the Elysian Wild. Maybe it's not gonna be a requirement, but I would say to do it, mostly just because at the end of the quest line there's the Aeternum leather pants, and those gonna be very useful in PvE. Mostly if you play multiple builds, sometimes you want one with nimble coat, one with Aeternum leather pants, and just you will not have to mix too much and waste money on the gems. And then there's another thing that's gonna probably spike up in price that is always useful, and this is the quintessence and the motes. Those are used for crafting and for the potion, and you know that the potion price gonna go high, and it's the same thing for Azot water. And at last, I want to finish with the trophy. You see, the trophy, it costs a lot for someone who's new in the game, but it's still worth it. And I would recommend to start with the medium size trophy. They call it basic. With those trophies, it's gonna be enough to do all the content in the game and not pay too much. And then when you want to specialize into something, then you're gonna go for the major trophy. Oh, and you see there is a maximum of 9 gear set, so if you can have 2 characters onto the same server, it's a bit like if you up your gear set to 18. So if you want to do heal, tank, and DPS and have multiple set of DPS gear, like you want one with spear great axe, spear great sword, you want one with evade rapier, rend butt, stuff like that, it's just too much. So 9 gear set is not enough. By having 2 characters, you're gonna be able to bypass the gear set and the gold cap, so you can be even more rich. So on this, I want to thank everyone who watched my content. I wish you a good day. Peace out.